Alone, we can do so little. I saw my dad's business grow to a point. My dad likes to have full control of everything. As he got older, he couldn't do as much. Alone, having full control of everything, the business is never going to grow past.
What do you say the difference is when it comes to event-based business versus the traditional business?
That's how I see what Dominick is doing, who I enjoy working with, who I like. That's part of it. Not that you have to like people, but it makes it easier to enjoy what the smile, the hug, want to be in the same room.
How do you get someone like a Mr. Ray to be a part of this and help bring this into fruition and maybe even take your vision and throw a little gasoline on it?
Team, everybody achieves more.
Yes.
I believe in universal truths.
I love
And that is creativity.
Based on you listening to this podcast, you're probably a creative entrepreneur who's ready to stop hustling for clients and start building a business that runs on purpose, profit, and peace.
If that's you, we want to invite you to join the Creative to CEO Challenge, a 5-day live coaching experience designed to help you shift your mindset and develop the habits to turn your creativity into consistent cash flow.
And it's all happening live on Zoom inside a private community of ambitious creative entrepreneurs just like you. People who are done guessing, done grinding, and ready to build with clarity and confidence.
By the end of the challenge, you will have a crystal clear direction on your next 90 days, a profit plan that fits your lifestyle, and the framework to start earning 10K plus months doing what you love without burning out or selling out.
So if that sounds like what you need, then tap the link in the description or scan the QR code if you're watching this on screen. And do not forget to upgrade to VIP for bonus coaching and behind the scenes Q&A every day of the challenge with me and Shy.
We can't wait to help you unlock CEO mode and the freedom you've been working for. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Quick heads up. This episode is going to be a little different where you're going to hear Shy and I, but the focus is going to be on our guest. Shy and I had the pleasure of being at CreativeCon, and we were able to interview one of the founders along with one of his confidants. We had a real phenomenal conversation just talking about the strategy, structure, and how to create a community and an event to be sustainable in the creative business space. So listen to this episode, right? Listen for the gems and the jewels that they're giving, because they're giving a lot of game on this episode. So don't tune out because you're not seeing us, because you don't hear us, but you want to listen to what's being said. So on that note, let's get to the episode.
What's up, and welcome to the Mind in My Creative Business podcast. I am your co-host, Shy Speaks.
And I'm your co-host, Ron, ironically, Jr.
And I say it all the time, but I am truly excited about this particular episode because it's featuring, listen, Ron, I get too excited. Can you do the thing,
So we are here at the CreativeCon event here in Chicago, and we're here with one of the founders, Dominick, and not just Dominick, but we're here also joining us is Ray. And these are two phenomenal gentlemen who are doing phenomenal things in the creative entrepreneur space. So it just behooved us to be able to have these men on and tell us about what they have going on to empower our creative entrepreneur community.
The cool thing is this is, we've featured founders before, but this is the first time we're featuring the founder and someone who is also an advisor to the company and the events that are going on, and not just an advisor, also an MC at the live event. Right. So it's a really cool perspective here. So I'm just, I get too giddy about it.
No, listen, and we see that, Dominick, that you are a author multiple times over, as well as a podcast host multiple times over. Yeah. So we're excited to have you here. So that's how we would introduce you. How would you introduce yourself?
Well, number one, I don't want to go anywhere without Ramon Ray. So when I got this guy by my side, I'm going pretty good. My goal is really, I live in a world of trying to share inspiration, positivity, and smiles. So everything I'm ever involved in is about elevating humanity, trying to be part of the greater good. Like this show right here. I'm thrilled to be here. But so just like CreativeCon, how is it not inspiring for business owners, entrepreneurs chasing their dreams? And that's what I want to be a part of. And so I keep trying to figure out how in my life to be around those types of things.
Awesome. And I see that through line for you as far as that motivation piece, right? As far as just trying to motivate their audience, whether they're creatives or, the other books that you've written that'll speak to dads and things like that. So, Yeah, so it only makes sense that
did your
you,
homework.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. You know, it only makes sense to create something like this to continue to empower creatives. So let me ask you this: why creatives? Because you know, there's other entrepreneur things and there's other avenues where you can go solely, you know, authors or whatever. But you like, no, it's CreativeCon for creative entrepreneurs. Why?
Okay, the answer is gonna be surprising to you. I believe in 2026, that if you're a real estate agent, if you're a podcaster, if you're an author, if you're a landscaper like my dad, that actually you should use video, you should use podcasting, you should use the resources of AI and all those things. So when we say creative, sure, people think, well, we're creative because we can get up and rah. But really, it's using the creative tools that all businesses and business owners should be trying to figure out can I use this to make my business better? Because these people in these communities are, and now how do I use them in my profession?
I love it. I love it. So you're broadening that term creative. 'Cause a lot of times, like, and me and Shai, we know, understand, a lot of times people focus on the arts as creative, but it's like, no, you're creative if you can create something from a vision or an idea and bring it to reality. So, awesome,
All right.
awesome.
All right, so Mr. Ramon Ray, we introduce you as advisor and as MC and host, but how would you introduce yourself?
Exactly what you just said, but I know you want a fuller answer. But yeah, no, it's an honor to be here and partner with Dominick and his partner, Julie, to have CreativeCon. As we sit here today, right outside of that room are hundreds of people who come to this amazing 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to be creative. And as you said already, you know, even when I first was brought on board, hey, Ramon, here's our vision. Can you give us some advice, help us do it? I had to even learn myself, creative. What does that mean? It can mean things to different people, but I think Dominick said it best. There's an eclectic mix of diverse people outside there from real estate, retired, actively working, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a variety of people there. And yes, how would I define myself? Being a part of this journey, being a part of this train ride, going with Dominick, going with Julie, and the other people they brought together and saying, how can I add value? How can I help? How can I blend my creativity to their creativity and have 2 + 2 equal, I don't know, still today AI says it's 4, but 2 + 2 equal 5. So that helpful?
AI might not say that.
But that's how I see myself, as just going on the train ride with amazing people. How can I add my carrots to their soup and make it even better that we all can do it together? Come on now.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And I also love the fact that you spotlighted Julie, who's not here in this podcast, but she is here at the conference. I want to ask about that when it comes to creative entrepreneurship. A lot of times creatives want to go at it alone, but you and Julie decided to found CreativeCon and the community together. What was the idea behind that? Why not go at it alone?
Well, let me tell you something. There's nobody better, I would say almost in the world, of supporting other creatives, other business owners than Julie Laughton.
Absolutely.
She's a star.
Come on now.
Like, a star. She calls herself, like, she doesn't call herself, she is the kingmaker. Like, so she sees somebody that doesn't see it in themselves and lifts them and pulls them and sometimes carries them. Right? They don't even know. And she's thinking. So it was prior to the pandemic. It was in the pandemic, and everybody was on Clubhouse and social audio, and we became friends and started doing more things. And we had both. I've hosted events in Pittsburgh where nobody came, and I hosted some good ones.
I've been there too.
And so we started thinking, I had some authors in this area. Julie had her huge following that we call her the Pied Piper sometimes. But so that's how Chicago became the original launching pad.
Perfect. All right, I got a question, because you mentioned, you've had some events where nobody showed and some that did, and like Ray was saying, there are so many people here who came. It's not an empty event. This is a really great event that's buzzing with energy. And I want to speak to you about the business of events, right? And I know you can speak to it too. You say, I've been there as well. So when we have businesses, for example, maybe like an automobile owner, car manufacturer person, or a landscaper, like you said, or an HVAC company, a painting company, their companies run a bit different than what you would say a true creative-based business. Events are a different kind of mix. It's not like traditional car sales. You're not selling somebody a car, but you're selling them an experience. And so I just kind of want you to speak to what do you say the difference is when it comes to event-based business versus the traditional business?
Wow, what a question.
That's why she had
Let me unpack that. Well, I grew up in landscape business with my dad, and I had a restaurant and spent a lot of time in restaurant, insurance, all these different things. Transaction. So number one, they're all transactional based. You know, we went, we mulched somebody's house, put in some trees, we were done, we were out. You know, they got what they expected. At an event like this, ultimately, you're paying in the house. We're coming and saying, we're going to bring you every expert we can, every person that's done it from all these different walks of life. Here's the room, here's the tools, here's the people. Now, at some point, you have to say, take that baby step, and so, can we create the energy? Can we create the room, the place where you can walk in and maybe you've never stepped out of your comfort zone and met that person, but today we're encouraging you, we're supporting, and maybe you get to meet and shake a hand with a guy like Ramon Ray, and all of a sudden you have events and making millions.
So you're speaking to the event-based business. The traditional business is more transaction-based. This is more environment-based, is what I'm hearing you say. And so you're able to manufacture and create an environment that people, he's like, I like that.
Hold on, I'm going to counter that. Manufacturing, no. The energy, the energy is them. The energy is knowing that there's no velvet ropes, that you bring it, and CreativeCon might not be for everybody, but if you believe these tools could help your business, this is for you. And create it in the people that say, these tools, I could use those. And so now, I'm coming here knowing what to get. I can't shove it down your throat, but if you receive that these could work for you, that you could see the benefits of AI, publishing, turning the phone around, all that.
Yeah. Now this is awesome, because I love hearing about you and Julie, because me and Shire are kind of similar, right? We were doing our thing, and we were in a community together where we was like, hey, we should do something, right? And then lo and behold, he's like, let's start a podcast, and then it went from a podcast to a media company, and you know what I'm saying? So I see some similarities there, and we know that it takes more than just you and even Julie to bring something like this into being. So how do you get someone like a Mr. Ray to be a part of this and help bring this into fruition, and maybe even take your vision and throw a little gasoline on it?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Ramon offers his gifts. He says, what are you trying to do? Let me process this. He won't come and just say, do it like this. Let me process this. And then like a week later, a month later, he's like, here's a list of ideas. Go A to Z. Why haven't you done this? It's making me angry. So we turn to him and say, have at it, my friend.
Yes. No, for sure. That's good.
So what make you say, okay, it's time for us to tap in some other minds, and so, but then
Go ahead. What made that?
Okay, so number one, alone we can do so little.
That's right.
Rising tides lifts all boats. So I'll go back to my dad in the landscape business. My dad put me through college, gave us a good life. We even had a barn, and I saw my dad's business grow to a point. My dad likes to have full control of everything. So my dad, as he got older, he couldn't do as much. As he got crankier, couldn't do as much. And the business would only grow. No, even though my dad's the best, he's the greatest. I love you, Dad. But alone, having full control of everything, the business is never going to grow past. And so you bring in the help, the people like Ramon. He's doing it. He's done it. He's a rock star. So if he would, be willing to come on board, we'd have to be foolish.
And I will add, it is mutual, meaning they had to be willing to accept and say, Ramon, can you add value? Can you help, as it were? And in the same way, they had to willing accept me. I had to willing accept them. So that's one. And then two, just to continue on in that thread, I think a few things. I think one. We all want to be, most people want to be part of something. You want to be part of something. I'm growing my own things. I'm doing things alone myself. But you're like, oh, y'all doing this, y'all building this. may I please be part of it?
Yeah.
And as Mark Cuban says on Shark Tank, I'd rather have instead of having a half of a watermelon, I can have a piece. I mean, half of a grape.
You have a grape.
right.
Yeah.
I can have a piece of watermelon.
Right.
So that's how I see what Dominique is doing, who I enjoy working with, who I like. That's part of it. Not that you have to like people, but it makes it easier to enjoy what the smile, the hug, want to be in the same room and learn, mutually learn from people. Love Dominique, love it Julie. And then two, I'm glad that I can add my years of experience, over 20 years of producing events, selling companies, doing companies, offering books, more, and add that. So for me as an advisor, and it's mutual learning. I'm learning from them. I'm learning from what they're doing. When I came in here, I was like, okay, they got balloons, they got the music, they got this, they got the look, they got the feel, and the humility they have, because Julie's dope. She can dominate and host her own. Dominique can do it himself. But the humility as a word that they've had to say, hey, listen, no, we're step back. I mean, you may have seen them. Dominique's in the back of the room.
Yeah.
He's been texting me, Ramon, all I want, keep doing what you're doing, because I check in. He's my client, as it were, in this context.
Yeah.
So I hope that's a little help.
Yeah.
You're not just an entrepreneur. You're a creative entrepreneur, which means that your world of business works differently, especially when it comes to funding. Okay, maybe you're bootstrapping, injecting your own money into your passion, or you're searching for investors who all too often overlook your unique vision. And yeah, you've heard a little bit about business credit, but you don't know exactly where to get started. Well, listen. We've got your back. We've partnered with Credit Savant to help creative entrepreneurs just like you get access to up to $150,000 in business credit. That's right, $150,000 to scale your creative-based business into the enterprise that you know that it can be. And trust me, they're not just going to throw information at you and send you on your way. They're going to walk hand in hand with you to help you get funded. Are you ready to take the next step? Well, head over to creditsavant.io. That's creditsavant.io. And tell them MMCB sent you.
Yeah.
I love it. Our 3S framework, where we've developed is strategy, structure, and self-development / sustainability. And what you were talking about is like, you were talking so much about the self-development piece without even realizing you were tiptoeing into our thing, because it's like humility.
Yes.
I think sometimes if you, especially in the realm of creative entrepreneur, you can be so grand and so good at what you
Because
do.
we all know so much. We all can do everything.
But you have to have the humility to embrace being a part of something, and also inviting somebody to be a part of it. Now, you spoke to several, all this experience, right? So I want to talk to you about strategy and structure with regard to event-based business like this that's built around community. What would you say is a chef's kiss strategy for event-based business?
Did she just say chef's kiss strategy? She just said that. She just said.
I didn't even know how she got that out. Wow.
I mean, I'm like, I'm stuttering, people. I don't even know what to say.
I'm gonna use
Chef's
that.
kiss, come on. That's some next level. We need that. No, okay. So a few things I would say. I think, and I love to know what you think on this, Dominic. So I think it's events I split into 2 or 3 areas, as it were. I think one, you have the table stakes. You need a venue. You need food-ish, light, camera, action, stage or not. Mechanics of business. You need to have that. I mean, events. That's one. That's kind of the basics. Number 2, I think you need some sort of agenda, some sort of program / who's the talent, who's coming. And in this case, I am part of their talent structure, whether it's keynote, host, whatever. But that's important. What's on the program? How do we want to feel? And or who's delivering it? I think those 2 things are very important. Number 3, marketing. You got to have a marketing event that will sync or not your event, and they're equal. Meaning you can have a bad venue and still have a successful event. You can have, so number 3 is the marketing. How are we getting the word out about our event? And I think once you have that, now you can take from there what you want. And that's where the leadership of Dominique and Julie, what are they trying to build? You can do an event that stands on its own, one and done, and that's fine. I've done events like that. Or as Dominique has been very clear, we want to build community. That extends beyond the 3 days or 2 days. Are we having multiple events? Is it one event? Are we having a Facebook page, which they have? They have the #1 podcast, Creative Entrepreneur Podcast, #1 podcast, him and Julie do. So my point is that's where you're extending it from just the event to the chef's kiss. Are we trying to build community and beyond? That's where that goes, in my humble opinion, if that makes sense. I know I said that fast. Those listening, I wasn't speaking on speed. You may want to slow down the video. I get excited.
I love it. I love it. So you gave us a chef's gift. You gave us the ingredients. You don't want to just have one, But when it comes to the marketing strategy, can you speak to, when it comes to how you, let's say, how you were marketing before versus how you're marketing now?
Fair. One, team, I'll go cliche. I got all the cliches. Team, everybody achieves more.
Yes.
So once you get more people involved,
Yeah.
more speakers, more people that have attended, more advocates,
Yeah.
more supporters. Now we're calling on our community to share and grow and endorse and talk about, and the pictures, the photos, the fun that they had, the knowledge, the ROI. He yelled earlier today, he's like, who got ROI already? I was like, yes.
And isn't that important? Our people don't come here for nothing.
Right.
This is serious.
Yeah.
You flew here, came in, bought a ticket. Dominique, I want you to go back and just, no.
Right.
Did you get value at this event? If not, why are we doing it?
Right.
Go ahead, Dominique.
So, in that piece, that community piece, I keep hearing that community. So, what came first, the community or the service or the need to provide something to a community? Or how did you go about doing that? If you understand.
Well, okay, we merged communities. So this conversation has all been about collaborations and things like that. So right off the bat, it was a merge of communities. Julie had a community. I had, as a publisher, I had a Motivation Champs community. So I knew I had a lot of speakers and things like that right off the bat that could have an opportunity. I had authors in this area, in the Chicago area. Julie had a big community as well. We also reached out to the other communities, like Breakfast with Champions. Thank you, Breakfast with Champions, right from the start. We had, Ramon was there.
Built in right there.
Yeah, so multiple communities. But to your earlier point, like, I remember like 25 years ago when I first started sharing inspiration, motivation. If somebody said motivation, I was like panicked. I was like, oh man, I can't handle this competition. And it was a flaw, a blind spot, whatever. But what I realized, wait a minute. If I really want to get to where I'm going, what if I help that person doing it? What if I help that person doing it? Okay, well, your message isn't my message. I'm from Pittsburgh, you're from Chicago, it's different. So, but that doesn't mean somebody can't receive your message. Okay, so if I could help more people and it not be about me, so CreativeCon, the same kind of way. If I needed to be the speaker for the next 2 days, I mean, I'd be great.
I push him private conversations we have. I'm like, where are you in Julie's face? Why aren't y'all? And they're like, that's okay. We got your face up there.
Yeah, see, I'm like, hey, so yeah, community. That's
And it sounds like you were saying there were services that you all were providing, separately in your own businesses. So shout out to you for being a successful creative entrepreneur by owning a publishing company. You just slid it on in there really quick, but Motivation Champs, right? So. And then having this service that you were providing, creating a buzz around people, and then keeping that network going. Now that network becomes a community. This community becomes merged with other communities. And now it's like, how can we gather and bring all the minds together? I love it. I think a lot of times people say, I just want to do an event. And I think that's kind of like, I don't know if that's kind
Think about it.
What's the business? What's the purpose? What's the why?
So can you, I want to talk really quickly. Let's toot your horn. We'll get you talking a little bit more like Mr. Ramon wants you to.
Bring it on.
You created a publishing company, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. I want to ask you a question. And this is something that people think of, like I have to market and get out there in front of the speakers. I want to take us a little bit behind the scenes. Let's go a little bit behind the backbones. Like, how is a publishing company structured even?
And before he does that, is Sonia one of your people?
Yeah, Sonia.
Before he does that, because I want to throw up the ball and just go, pow.
Okay.
May I do that?
Okay.
May I do that?
So this is a great point. Is the opportunity. So if I'm at an event like this, can we lift the people that we work with and see the opportunities? So you don't know this, but Harry Spate, he does Selling with Dignity. He was here last year. I strategically put Harry Spate on last year after you. And the reason for that, because I knew Ramon was going to kill it.
Right.
And so my friend Harry's growing in his speaking business. I said, people are going to leave the room, people are going to come out of the room. Now figure that out. See, we could have gave him some softball spot. But no. So anybody, when we give them the opportunity, show up on time, be good, get your message briefer, 60 right? That's the challenge. So looking for, like my friend right now, Brian P. Swift, one of my authors.
Brian's amazing. What's up, Brian Swift? Amazing.
We wrote a screenplay together. We've been shopping around. He's upstairs hosting a podcast here. And so finding the opportunities for these other people. That's what it's all about.
The publishing company. You
Yeah,
asked a
yeah,
question
yeah,
about
you threw it
about
in there.
motivation.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
What's
I
the
can go.
motivating
Motivation champs.
Motivation champs.
Motivation
The publishing company.
Publishing company.
Okay,
Give us
okay.
the back end. How do you structure? Somebody said, I created a book, I self-published it, but now I want to help other people like you did want to, and I want to create a publishing company. Like, what does that entail?
Okay, so let's get to the juice. Let's squeeze this. You want the juice?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
I went bankrupt in the restaurant business 25 years ago. I thought I had something to say. I was reading Dale Carnegie, Zig Ziglar, Joel Osteen. I was reading the Bible. I'm looking for help. I was struggling, all those things. I start reading the greats, the best of the best. Og Mandino. And as I'm reading these books, I start thinking I have something to say. I sucked in school, so I wasn't a great writer or anything like that. I just knew I had a story. My story was about getting beat up, getting broke, going broke. So I knew business a little bit. So I wrote for like 7 years. It took me 7 years to write my first book.
Wow.
Ridiculous. That's like a page a month. I mean, that's how bad it was.
It is terrible. It is bad.
Thank you. And what I know now is when I wrote it, I made every mistake there was. And so here I learned that I made every mistake there was. And at the same time, I'm having this revelation about what if it wasn't all about me? So at first when I wrote, I thought it was all about me. But then I'd speak somewhere and somebody would tell me their story, somebody would tell me their story. I'd be like, oh, that's super interesting. What if I could help them? And so at the same time, making all the mistakes I made.
Yeah.
So my first publisher, under-edited, underdeveloped, under-promoted, I'd ask the guy, I said, hey, you don't even follow me on Twitter. I asked him that. I said, you don't even reshare. I never got one retweet from you, man. And so he was like, he didn't care. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to do it completely different. The whole other direction. Every way, I'm going to support them. So like Sonia, you mentioned, Brian P. Swift upstairs, Harry Spade, I'm going to give. I'm going to support them. I'm going to stand in the back, intentionally, because I don't want to be the face, because I want to support them. Sometimes I'm the face, I'm happy to be here. But so it was that. And as that grows, I meet people in Hollywood. We've had books optioned to Showtime and things like that. And so it keeps going and going and going.
Right.
And Sonia's book was so good. I changed my. Are you crying, Ramon? No, you're not crying yet. Okay, I don't mind crying, but I thought Ramon was crying. I was getting ready to look. They came.
Your
Sonia's
tears are
book was
welcome.
so good. I changed my speech last year. Brian probably remembers. I don't know if you're in the room, but I changed it to "Stop Hiding Now" because she talked about what is it? What she talked about her mental,
Autism.
Autism.
Yeah.
I
She's on
say
the
it respectfully.
spectrum.
I didn't know. Yes,
On the
I forgot the
spectrum.
name, but she had autism, et cetera. She shared her journey about how her parents didn't know how to help her, et cetera. I'm not trying to get sidetracked.
No, I want to talk
I'm just
about
saying
this
it's
if we
so
can.
much about what he has done, what his company has done. Dominick talking about her book, talking about her journey, which was breathed to life in a book. I'm seeing her book, didn't know the lady from Adam.
Wow.
And I changed my whole talk based on the impact.
Wow.
But I just,
And that's, but that only, I see what you're saying, like how it rippled over. Like you helped this person get published, but then this becomes so, and it's not just, it's not just the book, it's the message and showing the person how to share that message and all that.
Can we talk about
Let's
that?
talk about it.
So I'm workshopping this, so let's go.
You're doing good.
Yeah, so I believe in universal truths.
Okay.
So universal truths, love, loss, labor, grief, all these things. So if I can connect, if an author like Sonia, who, like we talked about, my message isn't your message, but faced, left out, left behind. We've all felt left out and left behind probably today.
Yeah.
And so Sonia, in her book, where she talks about being on the spectrum, talks about being made fun of, bullied, yes, check. So if you can write a book and we dig into those, I respect people that can publish a book in 90 days. I respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. And you might need to use that tool at some point in your life. But I care about every word, every detail. Why? And when you told me about high school, I think you wanted to say something there, but you didn't. You went to a point. There's more there. There's more. And so every story is more. We want to go to those universal truths that we can all connect with.
I love
And that is creativity.
That is creativity.
Come on now.
That's so
Listen, I'm loving this conversation.
Yeah.
I want us to continue.
We need part two. We need part two.
Let's make that happen. Let's definitely make that happen.
So I want to ask one question for someone who say, like, man, they're here at this conference, a successful conference, and they're watching it, like, I want to have a successful event. You know, I want to have an event-based aspect to what I'm doing. I have a book, maybe I have a speaking, maybe I have something else, maybe I'm in a whole nother field, but maybe I want to have the event for landscapers. I just want to have the event, the gathering of the minds. Like, what would you share with them, an aspiring event-based business owner? What would you share?
My first, I'd love to hear from Ramon too. My first is everybody's got to win.
Yes.
Everybody's got to win. If I can figure out how, like the landscaping convention, well, like, why wouldn't I bring the guy that sells bobcats? Why wouldn't I bring the guy that sells the seed pusher? And so if everybody can win, then, and just keep thinking, okay, what's the way? Everybody wins.
What's the way?
And my 2 cents on that, or maybe 3 cents. What do you think? I don't know. We'll see. But I'd say understand why you want to do it. Why? And what's the business case for it? I do think those two things. I mean, you can decide, hey, I just want to do it to bring people together over some pizza. But meaning, what's the business case? How's it going to make money? Or if that's what you choose, but be clear. And then the why. Those two things I would say. And you got your event.
All right. I got time for one more?
No, that's good. I know
I got time for one more question.
Good. You better bring
Here's a
it.
question for you.
He's my client. So
Okay.
we got to start one session, but let's see.
That was perfect with the event. That was perfect answer. But if somebody wants to, like, okay, I have the event, I got the idea, I know my why, I want to make sure everybody wins. But how do I begin to build this community? Because that's what you and Julie have been able to do well. And how do I build a community around?
Let me answer that one. And I'm going to answer what he just said.
Yeah.
How can everybody win? Can I give an example of how you all are here today? We met in the hallway. I mean, you probably knew who I was, but I just said hi.
Yes.
How can everyone win is an example of what we're doing today. Dominique's host, producer with his partner Julie, producing this event. Got it. They're the top dog at the event. They bring me and say, Ramon, let's talk, whatever. What's in it for you, Ramon? Can you be a part of it? We did our business. I'm here. You all have you're here for a reason. Right. You had to pay parking fees, gas, your time, you could be somewhere else, but you see some reason to be at this event, something you can get. You need content, which will go back to advertiser, sponsor, whatever. We need you here. Dominique and me want you to cover it and share it with it. Here we go. How can we all win?
Community, right?
That's it?
Yeah. I love it. Okay, cool. Listen, that's why I see why you keep them around. Why you keep them around. Listen, I know we were wanting to do a part 2, part 3, part 4, so we have to wrap it up right now. I want to say thank you for anybody who's listening all the way to this point. You are solid. You are serious about your creative-based business, and I really, really appreciate you. I'm going to let I could ask you something, but I'm going to let Ron do the asking.
Right. So at this point in time, we want you to like, comment, subscribe, share with some other one who's a creative entrepreneur who would benefit from this podcast and this conversation. Alongside of that, if you are a creative entrepreneur who's looking to take your creative entrepreneurship to the next level, we encourage you to join the Creative to CEO Challenge, where me and Shai walk you through the 5 days, helping you to develop or get your 90-day plan on the page to where you're hoping to get your your signature offer and putting the structure around that signature offer so that you can impact the community that you're supposed to impact. So
yeah. I just wanted to make sure he do the asking. I do the thinking, he does the asking. But seriously, before we get out of here, we also want to make sure we give you an opportunity to speak. You've heard from Mr. Ramon Ray, you've heard from Dominic, you've heard from us, but we want you to hear from yourself because we believe that affirmations are important. So we're going to say this all together. It's our mantra and it's how we end our episodes. I want you to repeat after me. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. All it takes is intention, consistency, and laser focus, to mind my creative business.
To mind my creative business.
Thank you.
Peace.